Brittany Flammer, a financial coach with videos all about budgeting and money saving tips for you and your family. Now, January is over, so it is time to do our January budget wrap up or budget report. I personally like to use a spreadsheet for my budgeting, but whether you use a spreadsheet or some sort of budgeting app or pen and paper, it doesn't matter what method you're using, it's important to do some type of budget closeout at the beginning of the month, because creating the budget is great, but that's just a plan for our money. And life doesn't always go according to plan. Stuff happens, things come up, our expenses change. So it's important at the end of the month to do a closeout to see what you actually spent versus what you planned, to know what adjustments you need to make for the next month. I am going to go ahead and pull up my screen to share it with you. And while I am doing that, I do want to share, I've had a few people ask about this. I do a monthly free group check-in for helping people stay accountable with their budget. I'm going to put a link here in the chat box. And feel free, you can schedule it. It's completely free. You'll get a reminder. I believe it's the day before and an hour before. I just do it once a month. In March, it's March 7th. No, it's for February. It's February 17th, a Saturday. If you come, we do a few minutes of like instruction. So this month in February, we'll be talking about staying motivated with your budget. And then it's kind of just a Q&A after that. So getting into the budget. Here is a spreadsheet that I use. My husband is salary, so his is usually pretty straightforward. But if you'll see, he made $92 more than planned. I have no idea why. He's a teacher. Occasionally they attend some workshops or have to do some extra stuff and they get extra pay. He doesn't ever tell me about this because he doesn't ever think about it. So it's extra icing on the cake. After taxes, we got an extra $92. So that was a fun, unplanned income to have. Also, my personal income or my business income was $993, which is higher than it has been the last few months. So I'm excited about that. We did not plan on anything because we live off of my husband's income. And then anything I make, we put towards fun stuff. Or we've been putting it towards our mortgage. So we don't budget for any of that. And then also interest, we have lots of money in online savings accounts. So this is the interest we earn. If I weren't sharing this with the world, I probably wouldn't worry about it. I don't think about the interest. I don't plan for it. We just, whatever online account it accrues in, we just let it sit there and add to our account. So some of it goes into our vacation fund, somewhat to our emergency fund. But I want to be as exact as possible. So I am counting it here, and we will pay taxes on it because it is income. So our total income, just over $7,000, which is almost $1,200 more than we planned, which is great, which means our tithing, we tithe on our 10% of our gross income. Since we made a lot more than was planned, we paid a lot more. So we paid $1,025 in tithing and some humanitarian aid and fast offerings, some other donations. Now moving on to our expenses. So I do a zero-based budget. So that means all of the money out, we want to equal the same amount as money coming in. So at the beginning of the month, we planned where our money would go. So we want our final number to be zero. All of our expenses and savings to add up to the $7,028. So I start in my spreadsheet, I do like the fixed, boring, have to pay expenses first, and then I go on to the more fun ones. So mortgage is fixed, $1,332 a month. Our electricity was $1,386. We have solar panels. I get asked about that a lot. And it is wintertime, so we're not getting as much. So the flat rate, I can't remember if it's $10 or $12 that we have to pay a month. And then a little bit extra because we didn't get enough sun to cover all of the expenses. Natural gas is $142. It's not a fixed amount, but we are on an average payment plan. So it will be $142 for the next few months. Sometime over the summer, I think, is when they will readjust it. Our city bill is the same type of thing. It's been almost the same every month. So $109.49. That includes our garbage, water, sewage. Does that include anything else? Recycle. So in the summer, it goes a lot higher because we have a large yard that has to be watered. But in the winter, that's about what it is. Life insurance, this is fixed for me, for my term life insurance, $11.10 per month. Then car insurance, I budgeted $106. A lot of people pay car insurance every 6 months or once a year. Ours is paid monthly. But in December, we have USAA, who I'm so happy with. We've loved them. But in December, every year they do, depending on how the company does, they will give dividends back to the customers and apply it towards their bills. So normally our insurance is around $106 per month, but we had some dividends applied, and they do this every December, but I forget about it every December because it's only once a year. So once again, it's like earning extra money because our bill was lower than I budgeted. Phone bill, $30 for the month. Internet, our internet went up to $71. Normally it's just $62. It seems like about every 12 months it increases, and we've not been happy with our internet. So I am looking around for different plans or different internet. So this might change in the future, but now I know that it's going to be $71 every month. So I need to budget $71 instead of $62. I can see the comments in the chat. So if anyone has questions while you're on here, feel free to ask them and I will do my best to answer them while we're here. Gas for our cars, we stayed under budget by $10, $239. And we did a lot more driving than usual in January. We had several out-of-town tournaments for volleyball. So I feel really good about staying under budget with that. Piano is fixed, $50 a month. Preschool was fixed, $125 for the month. Groceries, I feel like I deserve an award. I stayed under budget for groceries, $670. So I was under by almost $30. Our groceries includes like all consumables, like paper towels, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, all of that. And I was keeping track throughout the month. So I knew I was going to be under budget. So I had money left in the budget. So I was going to stock up on some things at Sam's, like some snacks, because we've been doing a lot of tournaments and sports games for our kids. So I was just going to stack up on some more of those. But we had an Amazon subscribe and save that I completely forgot about. And they sent me a reminder, and I saw the reminder in the email, and I meant to go in and delay stuff because we don't need it. But I forgot to do that. It came. So I ended up spending like, I can't remember, $70 or $80 on Amazon stuff. So that took most of it. So I didn't stock up on things at Sam's. But we now have a very long supply of teeth flossers and face moisturizer and face wash and a bunch of things that will stay good on the shelf. Eating out, we went over by $2.79. My husband and I went out to eat on a date, and then my husband took one of our daughters on a date. Miscellaneous was $20. My husband had a dentist appointment, and he paid for the fluoride. That's not covered by our insurance. And we do have a flex spending card for all medical expenses, but we only have one. I don't know why they don't give us more than one. But it was in my wallet, and so my husband just paid out of pocket. Then entertainment, I don't know what we paid. We spent $4 on entertainment. Then our kids' money, they only earned $10. They do most of the stuff on their jobs, but they don't always mark it off, which I'm not going to argue as long as they're doing their stuff. And then babysitting, we paid our daughter $15 to do some babysitting. So total expenses, we spent almost $3,000, which was $144 less than we anticipated. Now, I don't worry too much. We were under here, but we went over here because it kind of averages out. I like to look at the overall expense. So I know for next month, we need to increase our internet. But maybe we could decrease our kids' money or something. But I just like looking at the overall few dollars here and there does not stress me out. We have an extra 144 so far. Debts, we don't have any outstanding debt other than our mortgage, and that is taken into account up earlier. So if we had any debt we were trying to pay off, car loans, student loans, credit cards, anything like that, we would put it here. But we don't have any, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to our savings, or most of these are our sinking funds. Our emergency fund is fully funded, so we did not add to it. However, it's in an online savings account, so it's earning interest. I have lots of recommendations. There are a lot of great online savings accounts. Now is a great time to have money in online savings because you can earn like 5% interest on them. That being said, so the interest that we earn, we just let it sit in there. So we earn $61.44 in our online savings for our emergency fund. So we just let that accrue. So we're now just over $16,000 in our emergency fund. My husband's personal money and bike maintenance, he gets $50. He didn't spend anything. So now he's just over $700. My fund money, I got $25 for the month. I did spend $59. I bought a pair of shoes. And I could go off on a tangent about this. We were at a volleyball tournament. the story of not planning ahead. I thought we were going to be home by lunch. It was much longer than planned. We didn't get home till late that night. So we spent more money on food because I didn't pack enough. And then we had a couple hours to kill in between some of the tournament. So we ended up going shopping. So I bought shoes, which is fine. I had the money and I wanted the shoes. But had I prepared better, I would have taken some games and we would have played games. We would not have gone shopping. We would have spent a lot less money. But so now I'm down to just under $200 in my fund money. Our life insurance, we put 68 into this. We only pay it once a year. So we're now at 214, a balance in that fund. House maintenance, we budgeted 125. We put 125 in. We spent $88 on, I don't remember what. I think we had to buy some stuff for our chickens, just little, our couches. Our couches sit on little stilt thingies. I don't know what the legs are called. But stuff gets under them and it drives me crazy. It's amazing how much crap gets under there and it's such a pain to clean. So my husband bought wood and we bought stain to match the legs. So we encased it so stuff can't get under there. And we went with good, solid, sturdy wood because it'll get dinged and dent by kids, and some stuff for our chickens. So now we're down to 203 in our house maintenance. A lot of these don't have a very high balance because we're constantly using them. But that's how life goes. Vacation, we budgeted 150. We put the 150 in, but then it's also in an online savings account that's earning interest. So we earned 887. We didn't spend anything for our vacation budget. So we're at 285 right now. Our house updates, we budgeted 150. We put 150 in. We did spend 279. We haven't been doing lots of work. This is for our garage, the addition that we're adding. My husband's done a little bit of framing. So he's gone to the store a time or two for some more wood supplies. That's about it. So we're down to 817 and that's not going to be enough. So I will explain in a minute how we are going to spend, how we're going to pay for the garage addition. Extra mortgage payment. We didn't budget anything because this is all of the money my business makes. We put towards this. Our interest rate on our our mortgage is under 2%. And I'm earning over 5% in online savings. So we are all the money I earn, we're setting in an online savings account with the intent to put it towards our mortgage, like at the end of the year and at some point. So we have almost 8,000 in there. But since our garage is going way over budget, we've discussed and we want to, anything we get for tax refund will go towards our garage, as well as all of the money I've set aside to go towards our mortgage. We have decided we're going to put towards the garage just to get it done. So I should rename this garage fund, but I'm going to leave it for now. Clothing, we budgeted 75, put 75 in. We did spend 60, I think, a pair of shoes for my daughter or something. So we have 59 left in there. Gifts, we budgeted 25, put 25 in, spent 33. I think I bought a couple of bouquets of flowers for people for birthdays and thank you gifts. So we have 43 in there. Medical expenses, we budgeted 100, put 100 in, haven't spent anything. So we have 15.25 in there. We were just at the dentist for cleanings. So we have health insurance and we have a flex spending. So most of our basic stuff is covered with the money on our flex spending. However, our first daughter is in braces and our next daughter, we know it won't be that long until she needs braces. Just at the dentist the other day, he said at our next checkup, we will start discussing braces. So I'm in 6 months. So I'm guessing it'll be another year before she needs braces. We want to have 4,800 saved by then. So we're just going to keep doing 100 a month. So we won't quite be to our goal, but we'll also have money in our flex spending. So we're on track for now. Car expenses, we budgeted 75, put 75 in and spent 959. We got new tires on our vehicle. That was over $800. And we knew that we were going to need new tires this year. So at the beginning of the year, I think it was last January or February, I went in to get a quote just to get an idea of how much they were going to cost. We knew they were going to be over $800. So we were planned. We looked at our sinking expense for our car maintenance. Usually this money for car expenses is just like oil changes, registration, that kind of stuff. But we looked and we saw that we would need more for new tires. So we increased our monthly contribution to our car expenses. So we had enough to cover this. So now we have almost 100 left in that account. So by the time we need to register our vehicles, we will have enough. We bought new tires. My husband also bought oil to change all the oil in our vehicles. and he did it himself. So we have about 100. So we have a couple months till we have to register our vehicles. So we'll have enough in the account by the time we have to register. Christmas, we just budgeted 50, put 50 in. So we have 63 in that account. Our kids extracurricular, we budgeted 175. We put 175 in. We did spend 210. Now, if we scroll down, this is where I track. All of this was pretty much for volleyball. We got a hotel for an overnight tournament, entrance fees, food that I didn't have prepared. So we knew there would be some expenses, but I spent a lot more money because I was not prepared. So next tournament, I will be more prepared. So now we're down to 47 in this account. And then my husband's Roth IRA, we budgeted 400, we invested 400. I don't track it here because it's invested in the market. But we put 400 for both of our retirements. And then mutual funds, we have wanted to start recontributing to non-retirement funds. So I didn't know when we were going to start, so I did not budget for this, but I did spend $100, and that is going to be an automatic monthly reoccurring investment. So if we look at this, we saved almost $3,000. So our total money out was $6,868. But if you look up, our income was higher than that. It was at $7,028. So the difference is 160. So that means I have $160 left at the end of the month to put towards whatever I want. Now, we like to keep a buffer in our checking account. So I don't want to use up all of this. I like a buffer. So if some bill goes over, I know we have money to cover it in the account, but we don't need 160. So I think 100 of this, I am going to add it. I'm going to put towards our garage, our house updates. I'll put that at 250. So I'm going to go in right now and I will transfer an extra $100. And then this $60, I'm just going to leave that extra buffer in our checking account. Let me stop the share. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I respond as quickly as I can. Join me with that group coaching once a month. Like I said, we get together, we discuss a topic. This month is staying motivated. We've had sick kids, so I'm wearing glasses and they need to be adjusted. Sorry, that's kind of annoying. So we'll talk about how to stay motivated and then just Q&A, answering questions. Just sign up at that link. You'll get the Zoom info emailed to you. Otherwise, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.